going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We were given the exciting opportunity to test out and review the EB3A portable power station by Bluetti. So let's get plugged in and take a closer look at some of its features. Figure the best place to start in this review is square one. So let's talk about what you're going to get in the box. You're obviously going to get your portable power station. You're going to get a pretty thorough instruction manual. You're going to get your solar charge cables. And then you're also going to get your single charging cable. There's no big power brick here. That's important to note. We'll talk about that a little later in the video, but that's what you get in the box. Pretty quick, pretty easy setup. Then you're off to the races. One of the things that we consider pretty heavily when we're adding things to our kit is packability and portability. This unit weighs just over 10 pounds. Talking like a hair. It's 10 inches by 7 inches by 7 inches. It's a pretty dope rectangle, so it fits perfectly right between the kids' car seats. All right, the $1 million question. The reason we're all here, how much power are we packing in this little box? 268 watt hours matched up with a 600 watt pure sine wave inverter. That inverter is going to let you run some of your more sensitive electronics. It's a lithium ion phosphate battery that's going to give you longevity and stability over many, many discharge cycles. It's a 600 watt peak. So that allows you to run your refrigerator or your AC unit where it comes up and peaks for a very short period of time, up to 600 watts, and then comes right back down. Bluetti recommends not running anything over 400 watts continuous. Otherwise, it's going to trip the unit. It's just not going to support the electronics you're trying to use it for. So keep that in mind when you're choosing what you're going to charge off of this unit. All right, let's take a look at the front of the unit here and see what ports and jacks it has to offer us. Up here front and center, guarded by this weatherproof plug, is a 12-volt cigarette lighter style adapter. This is what we ran our fridge off of. Plugs in there, makes it really easy. Underneath there, you have your DC 5521 adapter plugs. Then you have your 12-volt and your solar input to charge this off of your vehicle or solar panels. You have your single cord charger down here, and next to that is a circuit breaker in case that trips for some reason while you're charging it. Next to that, you have two USB Type A adapters and a USB-C adapter that will support up to 100 watts. Pretty substantial, pretty impressive. Underneath there, you have two 120-volt AC adapters. Anything that you might find in your house that you want to take camping with you, you can plug into there, like a CPAP machine or things of that nature. Maybe charge a laptop off of, something like that. These plugs will be perfect for. And then right above that, you have a signal lamp or a flashlight. So we can turn it on to medium brightness, super bright, or your strobing SOS mode if you find yourself in a bit of a pickle and you want some rescue. This might be the trick to get you out of that jam. One of my favorite features of this unit that you don't find in many other units, especially the budget models, is a 15-watt wireless charging pad. This allows you to wireless charge any device like your cell phone, so you don't need to bring extra cables with you or anything like that. You can just turn it on, put your phone up there, and it's going to charge all night for you. There's some pretty cool safety features built into this battery bank. We have overload, overtemp, and overcharging protection, and all those things are meant to protect the unit itself as well as the electronics you're charging off of them. We don't want to fry any of our electronics or swell the batteries, so this will recognize and stop charging when those things happen. If the batteries get too hot inside, this will also turn itself off and trip itself so it doesn't cause a thermal runaway issue or anything like that. So really important to note, this is going to be a nice safe unit for you on your adventures. So I promised we'd revisit this power cable, and here we are. Like I said, there's no big power brick to amplify the voltage. It all happens in-house in the portable power unit itself. It will step up, if you ask it to, the voltage up to 600 watts, increasing your charge from 0 to 80% in 20 minutes. You're fully charged in under 2 hours, good to go, ready to keep ticking. I think that's pretty awesome. If you turbocharge these things, they tend to shorten the battery life a little bit, so I wouldn't make it a common practice. However, this will sustain it and hold up to it for a long, long time. It's designed to do that. There is an app. There's an app for this unit, and it's a pretty cool, intuitive app, and I really like it. So it tells you your inputs and your outputs, so you can see the draw on your battery, how much percentage you have left on your battery. You can turn the unit on or off here. What I really enjoy is the fact that you can turn on individual outlets, and you can see the green light turns on when you do that. So you have full control remotely from this unit and what it's powering. And some of the other features of this app that I find really cool is if we go into here, we can change our charging mode. Right now it's in standard, like I told you, but we can go to turbo mode too, and that's what bumps up our power from 0 to 80% in 20 minutes, or silent mode, which is gonna be like a really quiet trickle mode. Powerlifting, we have eco mode that we can turn on or off. We have our eco shutdown time intervals. 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, or 4 hours. And we also have the ability to turn our LED light on or off. Also trigger our SOS if we wanted to. So the app is really useful. It's really simple in a really functional way. Everything you need is intuitively right in front of you. You don't have to go searching for anything. I think the app is a great addition to this portable power bank. Not every piece of gear is one size fits all, and your manner of use is going to be a little bit different than our manner of use. We thought we'd give you an insight of how we decided to use our portable power bank, and we use it by running the fridge when we get it to camp at night. While the vehicle's in motion, driving through the trails, we run the fridge off of the vehicle itself, so there's no draw on the battery bank. But as soon as we pull into camp and start setting up camp, we want to keep our food nice and fresh. That's where this bad boy comes in handy. It'll run the fridge for about 12 hours, and that's just perfect for us. Not every fridge is going to be the same, and not every temperature is going to be the same, so your use times might vary. But this unit has come in handy and just fits perfectly in the back of our rig to run this refrigerator, and we couldn't be happier with its performance. All right, check it out. It's science time. We are out of the woods in my driveway. You may have noticed the change of scenery. If you had not, welcome to my driveway. We have the Bluetti that is completely charged up now to 100%. Speaking of which, you know the 6 ways to charge this? You have your AC, your solar, your car, your generator, your AC plus solar, or your AC plus adapter. 6 different ways to charge this. I think that's pretty sick, pretty handy, and it goes without saying that if you double up on your charging methods, you're gonna get even faster results charging your EB3A. With all that being said, let me paint the picture of the scenario that we're running for our science experiment here. We just got off the trail into the most amazing campsite you've ever seen. The trail was wonderful, but it's time to set up camp and just enjoy the night. The refrigerator up until this point has been running off of the vehicle itself, just as we normally would. It's about 5:30, almost 6 o'clock, just as like we normally would pull into camp. So the time is right. The way that it's been powered is correct for what we would be doing. It's currently cooled down to 35 degrees and full of beverages. Taking place as the placeholder is the food that we would have at the campsite. At this point, now that we have to set up camp, we have to switch over from the vehicle power to keep our food cool to the EB3A. And from this point, we want to see how long the EB3A is going to keep our refrigerator at 35 degrees and our food nice and fresh and ready to eat at a moment's notice. So without further ado, let's go ahead and make that switch. There we are, all hooked up. The fridge is powered on by the EB3A. You can see the light down here is powered. We're at 35 degrees in both zones. Currently the fridge is not cycling, so it's not drawing any power off of the Bluetti. To note here, it's going to draw a little for this light here, but it doesn't seem to be enough to actually register off of the EB3A itself, so that's pretty interesting to note as well. But it is currently 6:06. We'll come out here periodically and check on the current draw and the current status of the EB3A, and I'll bring you along for that as well. Just so you guys are tracking, it's about 89 degrees out, but it feels like 99. So about an average day that we would go camping at anyway. So this is gonna be a pretty fair experiment, a pretty good run. Like I said before, however, not every fridge and every temperature setting is gonna react the same way to the EB3A, so this should get you in the ballpark, but it shouldn't be used as exact numbers. But I'll be pretty interested to see how this pans out. It's currently 7:13, same day. Let's go take a look. We're a little over an hour past how long it's been running. So just give you some good idea. Fridge is still powered on. Currently sitting at 93%. So pretty impressive. Not using a whole lot. Important to remember that the fridge itself does not stay constantly on. When it dips temperature, it'll cycle on and it'll draw power from there. So that's what makes it last so long. It's about 10:15, 10:17. Sitting about 76%. It says 30 hours left just because we don't have a draw pulled on the battery at all right now. But fridge is still sitting at 35 degrees, going strong, 76%. I'm heading to bed. I will be up early in the morning to check on this thing and give you guys an update, but as of right now, it's been running since 6, only down to 76%. I have faith that this is gonna keep cool till morning. So we'll see what we find out. All right, we are at 6:40 in the morning, 6:39 in the morning. Still sitting at 39% on the EB3A. Pretty impressed. It's over 12 hours now. So just below 40%. Should be able to get a couple more hours out of it. Fridge is still sitting at 35 degrees. Still powered on. Sun's coming up. Pretty interesting stuff. See how far this goes. It's in at 12:29 in the afternoon. The sun is out. It's Friday, August 25th. Today's weather is 91 degrees. Feels like 99 outside. So similar conditions to yesterday. We were sitting right at about 10%. Well, that's all she wrote. Was not able to catch the dying of the EB3A on camera, but it died at about 1:15. It's currently 1:29 by the time I got the camera set up and everything ready to go here. But that's a little over 19 hours. That's pretty impressive. Now let's call a spade and discuss the one thing that we weren't able to really replicate from camping, and that's how often we went in and out of the refrigerator itself. So we didn't really go in and out of the refrigerator for this experiment, but had we, I think we could probably safely subtract an hour or two. So you're still looking well over 12 hours, and that's gonna be an impressive amount of runtime for what we are desiring to do and how we're desiring to use the EB3A for this purpose. For that much runtime, we're back on the trail with a surplus in the battery bank. Easy day. So we may even integrate this into running the lights in the tent, or running our electronics, recharging camera batteries, things like that, and still having enough in the reserve to run the refrigerator safely. So pretty exciting stuff. I'm really happy with these results. So like I said before, don't use this as the end all be all. Your refrigerator will run for this long, this battery bank, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is just a perfect example of a test where we could see how long it was gonna run under almost perfect conditions. It was about 100 degrees out between each day, 91 to 99 feels like. It is under some shade of the tent itself, so things to consider, how the refrigerator is gonna run and put up with the temperature outside, but I'm really happy with the results, and I think it's a good example of what this battery bank can do. Before I get this recharged up, the other exciting feature of this battery bank that we haven't yet talked about is the fact that you can use it as a UPS device, or an uninterruptible power supply device. You may know them as like a backup battery for things. So basically, to give you an example, you can plug this into the wall and get a charge going on it, and then plug like your laptop into the AC adapters, and it will automatically go into UPS mode, and there is a way to bypass it if you're not interested in using it. So if the grid goes down, the power goes down, it'll automatically kick power onto the laptop, continue saving your data and things like that. So it's just like a battery bank that you would use in your office or something like that. So it's one of the smallest battery banks on the market that I know of that has a UPS mode. Super cool feature, one that we'll probably take advantage of because we get a lot of storms here in Florida. So we're gonna put that into practice and see how well that works, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing charged up, and I'm gonna show you how long it says it's gonna charge up under regular mode, because we talked about turbo mode, but we didn't talk about how long it would take to charge on regular mode. So I wanna show you that real quick. Well, there it is. You saw it in real time. Plugged the EB3A into the wall. It cranked itself up to about 260 watts, all done internally. Like I said, no big power brick. Huge feature there for packability. And then it showed us that it's going to be fully charged within about an hour. That's super impressive for a little power bank this big. I'm going to go ahead and kick it back out to me, who's still in the woods, for some final thoughts. All right, we're at the uncomfortable part of the video where we're going to talk about our likes and our dislikes of the unit. And to be honest and fair, there's not a whole lot we didn't like about the unit. One of our biggest gripes isn't even with the unit itself, it's the fact that we weren't able to charge the unit off of the Gladiator. The Gladiator just didn't support charging it with the plug-in cable, and it doesn't ship with the 12-volt cigarette lighter style adapter to charge it. It ships with the solar panel. And solar panels for us isn't a big feature that we look for, because when we pull into camp, the sun is usually going down, and we just have no way to charge it off of solar at that point. And when the sun comes up, we're back off on the trail, seeing the sights. So solar panel doesn't really work for us. We just really wish it had shipped with the 12-volt cigarette lighter style adapter charging cable instead of the solar panel cable. We just feel that it would have been more practical for most applications and most users. The good news is you can buy it off the Bluetti website, and I'll link all that in the description below so you can go down there and find it and get yourself one if you're thinking about using it in a similar fashion as we are. We love the construction of the unit itself. It's sturdy, it's robust. The amount of power ports up front here supports just about anything we want to charge, and I think that's fantastic. The screen is nice and bright. The flashlight is a nice addition. Really love the 15-watt wireless charger up top here. The unit itself checks just about every box that we'd be looking for in a portable power station. You can't go wrong with this one. Our biggest gripe is that power cable. Hey, thanks for checking out the EB3A with us by Bluetti. Excellent power bank. We're super stoked to be working with them, having the opportunity to test and review this item. We just can't wait to see you guys on the trail.